Matthew Heines. I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran of the 82nd Airborne. I took the oath, and I'm here to defend my state.
So this is why we're doing a recall, because we recognize that the governor has participated in lawless conduct. And in fact, by law, we can only recall somebody because they have engaged in lawless activities or violation of oath of office. And so the process, I'll go over it briefly because that's why we're here. We've been working on this for 5 months now.
Get rid of the bum.
But in fact, to the state, to the rest of the world, this is when it starts. We file our charges with the Secretary of State. It then goes to the Superior Court. After the Superior Court, it very likely goes to the Supreme Court. And that's why we have had an awesome team, a legal team, working on these charges. These weren't cooked up in somebody's basement. We have solid, hardcore, imaginative, and genius attorneys who have worked on this. One of them is here. He'll speak in a little bit, but I just want to say hi to Pete Serrano. He's a rock star. He penned 3 of the charges, and they're really well written, which could end up being a couple of months. We don't know how long it's going to be to go through the Supreme Court. We all will have to go out and gather 1.5 million signatures, and you know what? That's going to be easy. We have over 30,000 people. We have over 30,000 people in this movement, and those are the ones we know of. We have over 100,000 who have visited our website, which is recallinslee.org. If you haven't visited it, do so. So we have a lot of people. If everybody goes out and gathers 60 signatures, we're done. We're done. We will have 270 days to gather them. So let's not play tortoise and hare when we get to that. Let's hit the ground running and just get as much as we can, as fast as we can. Once we get this on the ballot, and we're looking at the 2022 ballot, we will have a great opportunity. We have an opportunity for huge voter turnout. Don't let 22 be like other elections that people don't show up. We have a governor to remove. We have other people that we need to remove. We're nonpartisan, so I'm not going to name them, but I'm sure you all know who they are. So I'll say something else about 2022. Because if we want to have a better state, we all need to get into the process. We can't expect other people to do it for us. And you know, there's an area that's been really neglected, and that's judicial races. Nobody cares about judicial races. They don't understand judges, and there's usually no one running against them. We need to change that. If you have a friend who's a lawyer, if you're a lawyer, or you want to just go where there's some lawyers and start getting to know these people and convince them to run, we need good judges. We don't have good judges. We need good judges. And the only way that's going to happen is for you guys, all of us together, to organize and to find people to run for judicial office and to support them. That's critical. And remember, this is all of us. You've heard Inslee say we're in it together. Not with him. We're in it together to get rid of him. And we need to do that. We need to do that up and down the ballot. We need to do our job. We don't get a government better than what we ourselves work for and sweat for and fight for. So it's our job to vote. It's our job to bring in the people who've stopped voting. It's our job to step up and run for office. Become a PCO in your party. Run for your school board. Run for your city council. There's no job that's too small. We need to step up and do this because, you know, the people who are taking away our rights, they're stepping up and running. And they're taking away our rights. That's why we need to do that. We have Dawn. You've met Dawn on the website. She's out there in the trenches. And Alexis is a co-conspirator here. If she hasn't cussed at you yet, just give her a minute. She will. But she keeps everyone in line. She works 14 hours a day. There's nobody that works harder. This whole group, nobody works harder. We're not paid. We work 10, 12, 14 hours a day on the website, on legal stuff in the background, coordinating stuff. We have a million things we have to do. But I want to tell you something about how we're just the real people of Washington.
That's right.
Well, when we were starting, somebody came up and said, hey, I had a problem with Inslee. And they explained to me the problem. And I said, well, you know, let's look and see what our attorneys think if something can be done with that. And ultimately, it shifted around through a couple people, and actually Pete found it, and he said, oh, that's gold. And the person who started that, by the way, is here. Her name is Rebecca, and she was trying to organize rallies. And Inslee, through the Department of Enterprise Services, said, no, you can't have freedom of assembly. And that's one of our charges now. So she just came out of the blue, and that's why this is a grassroots effort. Would you like to come up and at least say hi and say something about this?
Good afternoon. I'm Rebecca, and I'm thrilled to be with you on this somewhat crisp Washington day. And I'm also excited to be a part of this first official step towards removing Inslee from the governorship of our state. We all have stories of how we came to this place, our grievances. Churches are told how many worshipers may assemble, now even based at least partly off vaccination status. Businesses are shut down, workers are laid off, landlords can't collect rent, people suffer, and the Constitution and laws, well, just aren't followed. And me? I've been trying to schedule a protest at the state capitol for roughly a year, and my permit requests keep getting denied because Inslee won't allow people to assemble. Enough is enough. We must show those who flout the rule of law that they are accountable to the people and the law. We all have our stories, but as a state, we must not continue on the current path set by tyrant Inslee. We must not permit the law to be violated without taking action. Please join together to restore Washington by recalling Inslee. The opposition is going to be tough towards us. Obstacles will be strewn in our path, but we will and must overcome for the sake of our state. In November 22, we will recall Inslee. That month, tyranny will be held accountable. Those who flout the law will be held accountable to the law and the people. And I call on all my fellow Washingtonians to take an honest look at what is happening under Inslee. Take a moment and look at the charges being brought against him and filed here today. And I invite everyone across our state to join in this necessary cause. We must rise, we must work together, we must sign petitions, we must vote, we must protect our state, we must not underestimate ourselves. We can succeed, and we will.
Yeah. Thank you very much. By the way, this is how small of a world we live in. Because when I went over to to bring the paperwork over for her to sign, she showed me an email that I guess I had replied to a couple years ago when I ran for office. And it's, oh my goodness, somebody who asked me a question. So it really is a small world, and Washington is a community. It really is, and it could be a great community as long as we remain to be an American community. I want to recognize a couple people. We have some signs and T-shirts back there. Jeff Adolphson, he's been doing a lot of moderating since day one. And a new field director we have is Melinda Ryan, and another one of our main moderators is Lisa Surson. So I want to recognize them. Please give them a good round of applause. Fired around the state. Yeah. This is our legal and peaceful and constitutional revolution. It started just 2 minutes ago when we handed off the papers. Yes, well, he will hand us back a copy, and that will be what we have. And from there, you know the process. Get engaged with what we're doing. Put the word out, because you guys are what we need, and you guys are going to bring more people. You guys are going to spread the word, and that's what it takes. This is about us. This isn't about the fat cats. This is about us.
Congressman Susan DelBene has been in office since 2012, using her substantial financial resources thanks to Microsoft and her $84 million fortune. She has been able to continually maintain an office where people still have little idea what she's done. Well, she's learned to dance around, and she's learned to do all the political maneuvers you have to do to keep getting reelected. Well, Susan DelBene, it's time for you to go.